everybody, and thank you all very, very much for being with us today. First of all, I'd like everybody to, if you could please mute your microphones to make sure that we don't have any bleed over and everybody can hear what's going on. And then the other thing I wanted to know, or let everybody know admin-wise, is as we go through this process, we have time at the end for questions. So please type your questions as we go along. Feel free to type your questions in. And then we'll get to all the questions that we can at the end. If we do not get to your questions, don't worry about it. We will get back to you on answers for you. Again, thank you all very, very much for being with us today. Next slide, please. And here is our agenda for this evening. We're going to talk, obviously, general membership issues overall about ABCK. Give you an update of everything that's going on, and then we're going to conclude with a review of the nominees for the upcoming elections. And then at the end, once all of this is all over with, I know everybody loves it, so we're going to do a little mini speed networking event for those that are interested in doing this. So don't disappear at the end if you're interested in doing a speed networking event. Obviously, I'm the one that's sitting here talking to you first. You know, I just want to talk a little bit about this last year. It's been an amazing year. It's been very challenging for all of us that are in business over here in the Middle East. And it's been challenging for ABCK, quite frankly, as well. There's been quite a bit of turbulence. We've had to adapt substantially to a digital pure platform. We're all wishing we could get together again. We wish we could be together for this event. But unfortunately, we're not able to. But the good news is that it looks like the world is finally starting to change a little bit. And it looks like there's a good possibility that we will be able to get together here in the near future. And our events committee will talk about that, but we're already looking at doing some events for all of it. But during these challenging times, next slide, please, we've actually had quite a bit of success. Overall, as an organization, we've grown substantially. We have nearly 600 members. Now, that 600 members are just those that are voting members. The reality is when you start including all of the members of those companies that are here in Kuwait, that are all being represented by ABCK, that number jumps into the thousands. When you look at it globally, you're talking millions of members. So it's a substantial number of members. The important aspect to that is that gives validity to the voice of ABCK and all of you as we continue to work to advocate for a better business environment in the state of Kuwait and continue to promote U.S. products and you. So it's a very good thing that we continue to grow, and we thank all of you for being part of that. We've had over 70 events in the last year. And that's not quite true. The reality is we've probably had about 150 events. We've had 70 events that all of our membership has been open to. We've had events that have been Chairman Club specific, but we have also done countless meetings with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the U.S. Embassy, with multiple different entities, AmCham Mina, MECAC, many different organizations. And there's a lot of things that are happening in the background behind the scenes to continue to make business better for you here in Kuwait and in the Middle East. So when it comes to advocacy, for example, there have been many, many different people that have been working hard behind the scenes for all different aspects of the challenges and obstacles that we face here, as well as information sharing when it comes to what's happening economically, what's happening with business in here, not just in Kuwait, but throughout the Middle East. So there have been numerous events. And that effort has also bled over into advocacy when it comes to regional exposure for your companies and AmCham Kuwait, when it comes to advocacy through our amazing embassy. And I'd like to just take a moment and thank our embassy up front for everything that they have done, not just in this last year, but always has done since the founding of this organization. They have made a substantial difference, and they keep fighting for us. and they keep fighting for the issues that we are presenting to them. And the relationship that we have is very, very special, and we're very thankful for that. We have an amazing, amazing ambassador who has been out there working hard, even during this COVID pandemic. It's amazing how everybody I meet knows our embassy staff. So we thank them very much for all of the things that we've done. Speaking of the events, though, as you can see, we've tripled the number of events. Now, this is very important because when our events in the past, a lot of it was us getting together, us getting to know each other, sharing knowledge and information, and we're still doing that. But today is a different world with different unique challenges. So we've been working very, very hard to capture those challenges. And our focus groups have been the key to that. And this year, we actually held a roundtable summit capturing from all of our focus groups, all the different challenges that are in those industries. And we're consolidating that right now so that we can continue working for you on all of those things. So there's quite a bit of involvement that's been going on. And our membership involvement in those focus groups has been amazing. And we thank all of you for being part of that. Next slide, please. Now, the people that make all that happen, that have been working hard for you, is our board of directors. And one of them that's worked the hardest since the very founding of this organization is Fred. Excuse me. Fred Schwabe is one of the original 15 founding members of this organization in 1985. He has been a key member of this organization ever since and has made a substantial impact in everything that we have done. And on a personal note, has been a mentor to me. So we are very fortunate to do something that has very rarely been done in ABCK, and that is we have made Fred an honorary member of AmCham-Kuwait. So he will continue to be working with us. He will continue to share his knowledge and great attributes with us. And we thank him very, very much. And we want to congratulate Fred for being made an honorary member of ABCK AmCham. Congratulations, Fred.
Congratulations, Fred.
Next slide, please. Now, I would like to sit here and just take a moment and let you see this slide, because these are the people that have been making all of this happen. This board of directors has been truly, truly amazing. They have gone out of their way, above and beyond, and have done just amazing things when it comes to reorganizing the organization to make it better for you, when it comes to driving the focus groups to get the information out. These are the people that have done that for you. So I would like to take a moment and I would like to thank all of our board of directors that have done so very much for all of us. Next slide, please. And we have also had some turbulence in our organization, just like all of you have. And I'd like to thank all of our former board members that have been part of all of this that has happened. These people here are no longer with us, but they are absolutely also the reason why so much has been accomplished over this last year. So I'd like to thank every one of them for all of that they have done. Next slide, please. Now, we've streamlined our committees. Well, I told you we've reorganized slightly to be able to provide you better and provide you more. What provides you is the focus groups. So we've streamlined our committees down to these 4 committees to be able to continue to drive the organization, but we've grown on the focus groups that providing continuous engagement and advocacy for you. So I would like to thank all of those for the last year that have worked so hard in our focus groups that have made all of this possible as well. Thank you all very, very much. Next slide, please. Our focus groups have literally doubled in the last year. And it is very important that our membership have engagement in our organization, have a say-so in our organization, have advocacy and are heard in our organization. And these focus groups right here provide you that. And I want to thank all of the chairs for the last year that have worked so hard in standing up and energizing these focus groups and collecting all of the data that they've collected so that we can get that to all of the relevant entities, whether it's on the Kuwaiti government side of the house or the US side of the house, so we can continue to adjust and make the business community better here. Now, obviously, in this very unique time, there's very unique challenges that have occurred. And so that they've been dealing with all of that in two different ways. So as you can see, most of them are board members, but we have a few people that are not board members, but they're the experts in these areas, and it was only right to let them come in and chair some of these committees and continue to drive them so that we can provide the most for you. So I thank all of those that are involved. You see that the Banking and Finance Committee is blank, and on the board slide, you saw that our treasurer position was blank. That was actually Alok Chugh, who left us last month. And I would like to thank him for all of his efforts and everything too. As we wrap up our elections here tonight, in the next board meeting, they'll re-elect all of those positions, and then all of these positions will be reappointed. So thank you all for all of the efforts, and all of that has been done. Next slide. If you want to be part of any one of these committees, you don't have to come from that sector. If you want to know what's happening in that industry, please feel free to reach out to communications@amchamkuwait.org, and we will sign you up to any and every one of these committees that you'd like to be part of. So I thank you all very much. Now, with the focus groups, there has been a lot done, and one of those things has been amazing is a special announcement. Next slide, please. So I would like to introduce Dr. Arzu Haraf. Dr. Arzu.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you for the introduction. I appreciate it, and I'm unmuted. It is my pleasure to announce that to all the membership that ABCK AmCham-Kuwait has recently become one of the only 30 women empowerment principle signatories in the state of Kuwait. We're incredibly excited for this, and we hope that our members will also support these 7 principles for the betterment and diversification of the economy and the economic empowerment. I would also like to thank all the focus group members that came together and brainstormed and made all of these possible. Looking forward to working with everyone. Thank you. Frank,
Now I'm the one that was talking muted. Thank you very much, Dr. Arzu. I appreciate it. Now, all of this everything that we have done would not be possible without you. So we'd like to just take a moment and highlight our members, our corporate members. Here is just a snapshot of some of our new members. And as you can see, quite a few new members. We've had a 45% increase in membership in just the last year. In reality, we've had a few members drop out temporarily, but new ones have come in. Our Chairman's Club continues to grow. They're key to our organization as well, and we thank each and every one of them. Next slide, please. As you can see, quite a big team in the Chairman's Club, so amazing. And also, I'd like to point out a cross-section of virtually every industry that there is in the state of Kuwait. Next slide, please. Our corporate members. Amazing organization. And something new that we've run a test on this year is our small enterprise members. And right now we are in the process of rewriting our bylaws to include all of this, and it will all be presented at the next general membership for final vote from our membership. But at this time, I would like to call a vote on the permanent inclusion of small enterprise. This is what turns economies. This is what's growing the economy and diversifying the economy here in the state of Kuwait. So if anybody disagrees with us including small enterprise membership category, please feel free to enter it into the chat, and we will tally all of that up at the conclusion. But small enterprise, they have been an outstanding aspect of this organization, and we welcome each and every one of them. Thank you all very, very much for being part of the organization. Something that we have also done new this year is, next slide, please, is the recognition of our champions. Our champions is that special group of corporations that have contributed beyond normal membership, an additional 5,000 or more KD for our events and special things that we are doing, sponsoring events, sponsoring different programs that we are doing. And this year, we have 2 organizations that fall into our champions category. Next slide, please. And we'd like to thank Gulfsco and we'd like to thank Lockheed Martin for being those organizations. Thank you both very, very much. Our organization exists, and the things that we are able to do for all of our membership and what things that we were able to do on behalf of ABCK is because of all of you. And Gulfsco and Lockheed Martin, thank you for going above and beyond. We thank you both very, very much that all that you have done. We appreciate it very, very much. Now, next slide, please. As part of the general membership meetings and transparency and everything that we do, one of the things that we always do is review our budget audit summary. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Paula, our executive director, and let her go ahead and just do an overview with there, and I'll pop in on certain comments. Paula, the floor is yours.
So now for an overview on the budget and audit summaries. Next slide. So the total income derived in 2020 is 66,000 KD 164 from the new memberships and the membership renewals. Due to the pandemic, we were not able to conduct the major events that we usually do, which also adds into the income. So the total expenses for the year 2020 were 59,336 KD, and we were able to save an excess of 6,828 KD last year. So overall, the financials are up to date, and this includes our tax filing and auditing, which was submitted recently as well. Next slide. So our opening balance for January 1st, 2020 was 10,797 KD. And as mentioned on the earlier slide, we had an income of 66,164 KD, and the expend of the year was 59,339, in which we made an excess of 6,828. So our closing balance as of December 2020 was 17,625 KD. As mentioned before, the audits for 2020 are completed, and the 990 form has been submitted and is in the process of being finalized. Next slide. Okay, so this year we have a budget expecting to have a surplus of 5,158 at the end of the year. We're expecting a total income of 91,695, which will include new membership, renewals, income from events if we're able to do them, as well as sponsorships and other venues. We expect our expenses to be 86,537 KD, which includes the salaries for the consultants, other administration expenses, and contributions to MECAC, U.S. Embassy for Discover America, National Day, and other sponsorships. So that is it for the audit and the budget. Next slide.
Now, before we leave that slide, I'd like to just point out that and highlight to everybody that we have external companies that audit, that do all of our auditing for us. We have external company that does all of the taxing and filing and everything else for us. So this is all overviewed externally to make sure that we are always on track and we are completely up to date in both audits and on our tax side of the house. And then the other thing I'd like to point out is in this particular, in our last year's budget, nearly half of our budget was slashed away. And I thank the board very much for all of the adjustments and everything that we had to make sure that we made all of this happen. And I'd also like to thank our team, Paula and Jensen, for what they went throughout all of this period as well. Now, in this current budget, we have budgeted for events. And what we are hoping to do is once we get through these summer months and this country opens back up again, it's time for us all to get back together and see each other again. And we're looking forward to doing some of those types of things. So I just wanted to clarify all of those. Thank you, Paula. I'll turn it back over to you, Paula.
Okay, so now we have Rashid Al-Menei. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. It's always refreshing to see everyone, and I can't wait to be physically in one room. So let's hope that happens. My name is Rashid Al-Menei. I'm the chair for the Policy and Strategic Committee. Next, please. As many of you may be aware of, the US and Kuwait governments held a strategic dialogue back in November 2000, last year, 20, in which they discussed several topics such as economic diversification, economic growth, education, collaboration, among other topics during that visit. Some of the challenges of our very own membership were discussed as well. So special thanks to the US Embassy for the support. Next, please. Many of you may know that we are one of the founding members of MICAC, which is the Middle East Council of American Chambers of Commerce. Historically, MICAC has been doing a door knock on a yearly basis, in which they invite the US citizens of our membership to go to Washington, D.C. and speak with senators, governors, and other key decision makers of US policies. This year, the door knock will be done in September, and it's open to our US citizens within our membership if they would like to. However, just a note, it's going to be in their own expense. Next, please. We are currently members of AmCham Mina. AmCham Mina is a joint organization comprised of several AmChams around the region, including ourselves. The reason why we joined is because they provide support to our membership when it comes to connecting with other businesses around the region, as well as their soon to be launched marketplace, in which our corporate members and small enterprises may send us their business opportunities in the region. For example, if you wish to find a partner in the region, or if you looking for a specific product or service, it will be a great platform and networking platform. You can send us these requirements, and we will ensure that they're posted in AmCham Mina. So it's in a bigger scale right now. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I'd like to introduce our Program and Events Committee Chair, as well as the Vice Chair of ABCK, my good friend, Pete Swift.
All right, good evening, everyone. How you doing? It's great to be here with everyone again. Looking forward to having a big year. We had a phenomenal output from the team. If you look at this is a collection of the events that we put on directly. If you look at the events that we were involved in, you can double this amount. So we're looking forward to an even bigger year next year. Next slide, please. Here you look at some of the events that we had. The Back to Business, the first ever virtual speed networking, which is a lot of fun. We have another speed networking event coming up on June the 2nd. Please make sure you sign up for that. The sustainability workshop was a lot of fun. The Kuwait legal update, the corporate social responsibility event at the Children's Hospital. It's amazing the work that the people out there do and the compassion in which they do it with. So I won't highlight all of these. If we'll just kind of go through the slides, you can see these events. We have another year packed full of events coming up. We're really, really excited about the things that our team, Paola, Jensen, the collaboration with the embassy, Sherry and her team, and all of you are part of a success matrix that we have here, working together, the ideas that you bring up, and then our team works together to make those things happen. Next slide, please. And if you see anything that you'd like to do, or if there's an upcoming event or a focus that you want our attention on, please communicate with us at communications@AmCham-Kuwait.org. Next slide, please. Now, I'm also representing the elections committee here. I'm the chair for that. And I believe that's probably why most of you are here tonight, in addition to hearing about the great things that we've accomplished as a board and the wonderful people that are on our team now. And we look forward to continuing to work together to make things happen. Yes, next slide, please. And the groups are Category 1A, it's American companies doing business in Kuwait. Here are the candidates for this position. There are only 3 positions available for this, for Category 1A. So you have to cast your vote before midnight tonight for these 3 candidates. Next slide. This is Category 1B. This is a very tough race here. We have 1 open position, and you have to cast your vote for 1B. 1B represents companies doing business with the U.S., but Kuwaiti companies. So you have to cast your vote, as I mentioned before, midnight for one of these candidates. And next slide. And here we have 4 open positions. This includes individual and small enterprise. You can vote for 4 people here. We have 6 candidates, but you can only vote for 4. So please cast your votes before midnight. And next slide. So when we will start to tally the votes at midnight, if your vote is cast after midnight, it will not be counted. So please do your due diligence and vote. On May 11th, we sent out an email with the information for voting. Please go to, and the website or the link to vote is here. If not, you can go to your email and follow up and you can vote there. But please make sure your vote is in before midnight, and we will announce within 2 days the winners, and everyone will receive a call from our chair notifying them before the information is published. So before I pass the mic back, I just want to thank the team, Paola Jensen, my fellow board members, and all of you. And I always have to tip my hat to Frank as a leader. He's a big part of the success of this organization. And we're having a lot of fun as a board, making things happen for you all. So thank you for your time, and let's continue to have a great evening. So I'll pass it over now. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you very much. Again, just to reiterate what Pete said, there's emails that went out. If you want to read the profiles of all the individuals, they're in that email. You can just click on the links of each person. Some even did videos. So please make sure you vote, because that's what's great. I also would like to take a moment. I want to thank every single one of the candidates that are running tonight. We appreciate all of your interest in wanting to be part of this board of directors and continue to make a difference for ABCK. So irrelevant of the votes, I thank every single one of you for being part of the voting process. As far as final remarks, again, I would just like to reiterate it has actually been a remarkable year. I know there's already another amazing year that's planned. And inshallah, we'll all be able to get back together again, and we can start doing a lot of these events in person. But just so you know, I also think that some of these events will still remain online because they were so successful, especially the knowledge sharing events and subject matter experts being able to present. and we can do a lot of these types of things. So I think it's just great to be able to do that. So I think that's going to continue to, but I really, really look forward to getting together with each and every one of you again. I would like to also reiterate, just so you are aware, there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes by your board, and I thank all of them for all of their efforts. There's also a lot of things happening behind the scenes from both Paula and Jensen, and we thank them from the bottom of our hearts for the amazing efforts that they put forth every single day on behalf of ABCK. AmCham Mina is a great organization that we're part of that was discussed earlier, and there's a lot of things that are going on with them and more to come in the future as well. And MECAC is the ones, they're the ones that are standing up right now. There's discussions in DC talking about reducing your tax exemptions for being over here, increasing taxes for American companies over here. And it's them that are fighting these types of issues, and you that are part of them. Any one of our American members are welcome to be part of that, and we thank them as well. I would like to thank the U.S. Embassy. I can't thank them enough for everything that they do for not only all of us American citizens, but for our business community. Sherry Stout and her commercial office team have been just downright amazing and have been standing up for us with numerous different entities on both sides of the fence. So we thank all of them. And our amazing ambassador, we thank her. And last but not least, I would like to thank you, all of our members. The reason why this organization is successful, the reason why we are making a difference in the business community now and being able to stand up and fight for the things that need to change for us to have a better environment is because we have all of your voices and all of your participation. So I thank all of you very, very much. And I look forward to being able to thank you all in person very, very soon. And with that, I'd like to close out and turn it back over to Paula. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. So as you can see, questions and answers. If anybody has any questions, please write them down in the chat, or feel free to send us an email if there's anything throughout the presentation that was not clear, or you'd like to learn more about, let's say, MECAC or AmCham Mina. We're more than happy to provide you with this information. So please do get in touch with us, and I'm gonna type down the email so that you guys can have it as well. Okay. So that is the email, and then next slide. And please do connect with us on social media. We post a lot of the events, a lot of the initiatives that we're doing on there. And I do know that many of you do get our emails in your spam. So please, please check your spam box always. And if you connect with us on social media, then you don't even have to check your emails as much because everything is mentioned on there. So please do connect with us. Next slide. There we go. And we do encourage you, if you know anybody that might be interested in joining AmCham Kuwait, please do let us know. Right now we are expanding one specific focus group which is not as represented within the chamber, and this is the healthcare focus group. Beatrice right now is chairing this focus group, and we would like to get more people in from the healthcare and pharmaceutical sectors to be part of it so that they can also talk about their challenges, their opportunities within the state of Kuwait, and we can really build a conversation on this topic. I won't mention the other focus groups because they do have strong support, but this one specifically, because it's just started, we would really appreciate your support. Next slide. Okay, so I think we finished quite early. So whoever wishes to stay for speed networking for a few minutes, you're more than welcome to do so. So I'm gonna put you guys in breakout rooms now.